I'm not shocked that siblings who were once super close are now setting new boundaries and limiting contact with each other, but I am shocked that it's happening to Tia and Tamera. Now, people are talking about a rift between the famous twin sisters and fanning the flames of speculation about a potential rivalry between them because at some point, Tia dropped the news of her divorce on the same day of Tamera's book launch. While no direct confirmation existed, Tia deliberately timed the announcement to overshadow his sister's event. It suddenly fueled fan speculation that things weren't as harmonious as they seem. People are also now digging up perceived hostility in past interviews, looking at older scenes where it seemed Tia was just a tiny bit bossy towards Tamera. Now, both sisters have admitted to being different in their perspective because, they're not one person. While Tia has a more independent and assertive approach, often taking charge of her personal life and professional career, Tamera has always portrayed herself as more traditional and family-oriented, as shown in her admiration for her husband's values during various interviews. I don't think there was ever a villain here, but we are really seeing now how different they truly are from one another. There's also the chat now about the fact that Tia has not really publicly defended her sister as much against the raging onslaught of attacks, mainly over Tamera's marriage to a white right-wing leaning man. What started with the confession in Tia's trailer for her new show has now really blown up, and while Tamera has often been the villainized sister at the receiving end of public scrutiny, this new preview has struck some kind of a nerve. Tia has set the internet alight with the arrival of a shocking teaser for her new docu-series Tamera Mowry, My Next Act. Now, the teaser landed on September 20th, and I mentioned that because dates will be very important in this video since people are piecing all kinds of evidence together to investigate where things could have gone wrong for the beloved sisters. Tia expressed it that she and Tamera were no longer close, which ignited a wave of speculation about a potential rift between them, with many others feeling helpless in their inability to go over there and get the girls to cut it out and be the Tia and Tamera that we know and love. And the snippet for the looming show, which premieres on October 4th, 2024 on WeTV, Tia laments the collapse of her family now that she's navigating motherhood as a single mom. It's something she never wanted for her own family, having grown up with the vision of having her kids grow up in a loving two-parent household. But that all came crashing down when her marital vows were shattered. In a heartfelt Instagram post on October 20th, 2022, Tamera Mowry announced a separation from her husband of 14 years, Corey Hardwick. Mowry's announcement came as a shock to many fans who had always admired the couple's seemingly happy marriage. In subsequent interviews, Mowry has opened up about the challenges of divorce and her focus on healing and moving forward. Now, in the emotional trailer, Tia invites viewers into the ups and downs of her life after divorce. She touches on the challenges and how things would have been much better if she was still close with Tamera.
It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her. But that's just not where we are right now.
I mean, you do want your twin sister to be by your side and hold your hand as you weather the storms. Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce, Tia says in the WeTV docu-series. She continues, "It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still very close and I could pick up the phone and call her." That's where the 46-year-old also revealed, and I quote, "But that's just not where we are right now." Now, while siblings may grow and evolve separately, it happens all the time. It must be pretty intense when things reach a point where they can't even be there for each other during one of life's hardest and most traumatic heartbreak.
I love her dearly. She is strong. But I know right now she just kind of just wants to, just process it all, take it all in, and, be a little private about that.
Yeah.
And, as a sister, I'm just going to respect that.
Totally.
Now, Tia and Tamera are cultural icons as the inseparable twin sisters who captured the hearts of many from around the world on Sister Sister and continue to be pop culture's much-loved twin duo. A collapse in their bond is the last thing we expected, but it appears it's been brewing for some time. While Tia mourns the lack of their closeness in this trailer, it seems she might have missed an opportunity to let her sister know that, hey Joel, this is what I'm working on right now. And while, yes, they aren't so close anymore as we're now finding out, wouldn't you at least give your sister a heads up if you're working on something that would inevitably affect her? Because here we are, talking about Tamera being the leading subject of a trailer for a docu-series that she was neither notified of, let alone being invited to partake in. Back in May of this year, Tamera revealed that her sister Tia had kept her in the dark about her new reality show. Tamera mentioned in an interview during the Gracie Awards that she found out about the show with, and I quote, like the rest of the world. She shared that Tia had not approached her for any input or even asked if she would make an appearance on the show. Being ever so demure and diplomatic as always, Tamera emphasized that their bond remains strong. Although they are living their lives separately and differently at this stage, she said, "She didn't ask me, so I take that as no." No, she's like, "This is my story, and I can only respect that." She continued, speaking to whether her husband Adam Housley and she has been setting Tia up on dates. "I feel she doesn't want any of our input right now, and I can only respect that." Shoo! And it's definitely no oversight. It's quite intentional of Tia to have made the decision to exclude her sister from that entire project, knowing that her sister's presence would inevitably show up through mentions, reflections, and narratives on the show. And I don't think Tia meant any harm by making that decision, but I do think everyone is curious as to what exactly caused their fallout. In the interview with Entertainment Tonight, Tamera refused to fall for the bait to fan the flames surrounding their relationship. The Twitch's actress said, "Tia is living her life right now, and Tia is doing Tia. So she's respecting that boundary and openly talking about it without fueling more theories." Unfortunately, that didn't last long because Tia's looming docu-series has invited the public into the conversation. Where the conversation gets a little bit sinister for me is where people are looking back in time. Tia's honest revelation has raised eyebrows for many reasons, but amongst them is the timing of Tia's divorce announcement and Tamera's book launch. Tia announced a divorce from Corey on October 4th, 2022, citing irreconcilable differences. This coincided with Tamera's promotion of a book, "You Should Sit Down for This," which Tamera had discussed around the same time. While Tamera expressed support for her sister during this difficult time, some fans have wondered on the timing, hinting at tensions between the twins. Now, there are those who wonder if Tamera's husband being conservative might have added to the decline of their bond. And for me, that only highlights their differences, which they've both acknowledged in the past, that they may be identical, but, and I quote, "We are night and day," Tia said in an interview with the Breakfast Club back in 2022, where she also added that those differences only strengthen their bond. "We had to learn to respect each other's differences and say, okay, you're different from me. It doesn't mean that you're any less or any better, or your values are any less or any better. We learn from each other, like I'm the non-traditional one, and my sister is very traditional," she said at the time. However, in the same interview, Tia also talked about how she and her sister had opted to share the same room and bed for their grandmother's funeral because they are just that close, having shared the same womb, you see. So, if this was as recent as 2022, what could have possibly happened between then and now? Because the pandemic quarantine had already happened before this. Now, the sisters had experienced their longest separation in 2020, not being able to see each other for an entire year, and only reuniting in March 2021 as the lockdown eased up. What an awful time. I do think more answers will be arriving on Tia's docu-series in October. As per the logline and freshly released preview, the series will follow Tia as she experiences life on her own and newly divorced from her ex-husband and fellow actor Corey Hardrick, who starred, by the way, on The Shy in All American and Homecoming, and with whom she shared a 14-year marriage. My next act will trace Tia's professional and personal challenges as she juggles motherhood, dating, and more. Now, I do hope the sisters will be able to find their way back to a better place in their relationship. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Leave a comment down below, like and share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye.